Today, a chef shares the recipe he makes for his family when he's off the clock. A rosemary pork tenderloin with roasted sweet potatoes, garlicky spinach, and barbecue sauce, plus a beautiful beverage to go with it. Joining me to share a recipe he makes at home for his dinner is Chef Fernando Sanchez. He's the corporate executive chef for Noble Crust, but more importantly, a husband and a dad whose family have taste tested this recipe and given it their thumbs up. So this has got 4 thumbs up already.
4 thumbs up.
Okay.
That is correct.
How did this recipe come about then?
So it was almost treated like an episode of Chopped. One day I wanted to make dinner. I didn't know an idea that I wanted to make, so I opened up the fridge and there was some spinach.
All right, so was that before or after you set the timer off of the microwave to be like, all right, 30 minutes, let's go? Like, when did that kind of come into the equation?
That really didn't come about.
Okay,
it didn't come about that way.
But you just wanted to test yourself.
I just wanted to test myself.
Okay.
So I saw some spinach in the fridge. I saw some garlic. Over by the counter, I saw some sweet potatoes, and I was like, you know what? Let me try this.
Okay.
And I go back into the fridge, and I see a pork tenderloin, beautiful pork tenderloin. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna make. So, and it's a great dish because not only does it pair well with pork, you can also make it with chicken, with fish, with shrimp. But the size component with the barbecue, who doesn't like barbecue shrimp also?
I mean, come on
You
now.
can really make it very versatile.
Very nice. So all we're just starting over here was just a little bit of some fresh rosemary. So all we're gonna do is just combine this with just a little bit more rosemary that you had already chopped up.
I'd already prepped that
Okay.
there. So next we're gonna take our tenderloin. And so this tenderloin has a silver skin on it.
What's the silver skin?
So silver skin is just like another piece of muscle, almost membrane, that you actually want to take off because it's not very edible. It is, but it's going to be really chewy.
Okay.
So by taking this silver skin off, it kind of just makes the pork perfect.
It's a cleaner bite. So that way you're just getting all of what that tenderloin would be. Now, is the pork tenderloin expensive? And
not very expensive. That's why I like doing it with the pork. I mean, a lot of people could do it with, fillets and ribeyes and stuff like that, but I always grew up eating pork, as a kid. So pork is very dear to my heart. So I wanted to make it with the pork, and that's how it worked out. And as I said, I had it in the fridge. So
you had it in the fridge.
I had it in the fridge.
And this is going to be, serving your family, but for those that are watching, how many portions should we be able to anticipate coming out of this pork tenderloin?
So out of 1 pork tenderloin, we can pretty much, depends how much you want to eat, but a good 3 servings, maybe 2. Okay. Depending how hungry you really are.
Sure. Or just really one hungry person.
Or one hungry person.
Just one big fork.
Why not?
Okay. All right.
All right, so now that we took off the silver skin, we're gonna season it up with a little salt and pepper first. Okay. You wanna make sure you get the top and bottom side. Really cover that up. Get some. And then this is where the magic happens. So a little bit of oil after you season it with salt and pepper. Because by doing this oil, you're gonna basically, it almost acts like an adhesive.
So this becomes now the glue.
Yes. With the rosemary and the garlic here.
All right. What type of oil do you have here?
Just a blended oil. I usually at home, I buy a vegetable oil or canola. Okay. It's kind of what I use, my go-to. Okay. I don't recommend extra virgin olive oil because that's just more for dressings and finishing touches. So especially since we're gonna sear, you don't want that high heat on that oil.
Yeah, that's just. Okay, so then we just did a little bit of some minced garlic here.
Yep, minced garlic, and now the rosemary
and
that we
fresh
chopped up.
Rosemary.
Fresh rosemary we chopped up in the beginning.
I mean, it already is coming along.
Oh yeah, you can smell it.
You can already get all of that.
You can smell it. As soon as you hit that garlic and the rosemary with that oil, you already kind of have that beautiful crust going there. So now we have our sauté pan, nice and hot. And we're just gonna take this pork and get it a nice sear. So you want to sear it all the way around. Okay.
Just so to high heat on then?
About medium to high.
Medium to high,
because you don't want the garlic to actually burn. Yeah. So a little bit of oil in the pan. Okay. Gotta love that sizzle sound.
It's just like, I'm ready. It's just I want to jump, and it's just like, give me the food. The foods want to jump in. And it's just like, here you go, let's go. All right.
Here we go.
And then that's the sound you want.
That's the sound you want.
Oh.
And as soon as it instantly hits the pan, you start smelling that.
It's just starting to waft
garlic.
all the way through. And so you're going to be able to you're going to cook this on all sides.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to sear it on all sides just to kind of make sure everything sticks, all the herbs and the garlic sticks nice to there. And you're really searing it just to kind of seal in the juices once you're putting it in the oven. It's the reason you want to sear it first.
Perfect. For Chef Fernando's recipe that his family loves and that yours will too, grab it over at dinnerdeas.com with all the amounts, the ingredients, and the directions. Just scan the QR code down there, open up your camera app as if you're about to take a photo, and point at that square because a link to us will pop up without any typing necessary. That way then you can see more of what's happening over here. This is absolutely beautiful. The colors, that caramelization, that crust.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Okay.
All right, so once you have that nice caramelization on all sides.
And it's very quick then.
It's quick. It's a quick dish. The oven does most of the work.
Turn
that off.
Perfect.
Yep. And we're just gonna set it in here at oven preheated at 375.
375?
And you're gonna cook it for about 35 minutes. It should come out about medium well on that point.
I love it. Very nice. While this little piggy goes into the oven, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, some simple sides to make this a meal and a surprising seasoning for sweet potatoes ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where top chefs share their ideas for your dinner. And today's recipe is a family favorite from Chef Fernando Sanchez from Noble Crust. It's rosemary pork tenderloin. Before the break, we trimmed our pork and then seasoned it with salt, pepper, rosemary. We gave it a quick sear in a hot pan, then put it into the oven where it remains. And while that's cooking, now we got a little bit of time to make some sides. So what's on the menu here, Chef?
So anytime I have sweet potatoes, I always like to roast them. Not a big sweet potato fan, so when I see sweet potatoes in the pantry, when my wife goes grocery shopping, I know one of the things I like doing is just taking them, peeling them. You want to peel all the outside.
But you don't have a vegetable peeler here, so you're not. So how are you doing this part?
So you just cut the top and the bottom off, and then I stand it up, and you just kind of go along the side.
And just let the knife do the work, and just come through.
Yep.
And just work the curve of what is going to be that sweet potato, just to take off.
Just that little skin part.
Okay. Very easy.
Yep. So once you have all the skin off, you want to kind of dice it a little bit, almost like a quarter size.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way they don't take as long in the oven. So what I usually do is cut them in half, place them flat on the cutting board so you're not wobbling around everywhere. Cut them in half again. Then turn them off to the side, and that's when you dice them.
So just a rough chop here, just to give uniform cuts, but something that's got a little bit of a fork to really kind of get in there.
Get in there, yeah.
All right. For Chef Fernando's recipes for his rosemary pork tenderloin, plus these sweet potatoes here, the spinach we're about to make, and his barbecue sauce, they're all at dinnerdeas.com, ready for you to print with all the amounts, the ingredients, and the directions. Just scan the QR code to get there. Look, all right, we're almost there with these sweet potatoes.
All right, so here is my little secret weapon.
Okay.
And I will share this with you.
We love secret weapons, okay?
Here's my little secret weapon.
This is where we all get to be in on it together, so
typically a lot of seasoning is just salt and pepper, right? On potatoes, kind of what you see. So I actually give it a little twist by using Everything Bagel Seasoning.
Whoa, so you're bringing the Everything Bagel Seasoning into this. Okay, so this ain't just for an Everything Bagel Seasoning. It's not just for your avocado toast.
Not at all.
Just for your topping on the eggs.
No.
You're saying that if I really want to, I can cut the corners.
Yes.
Because it's got sesame seed, it's got sea salt, it's got the dehydrated garlic, it's got toasted dehydrated onion, the black sesame seed, and poppy seed.
What else do you need?
It's got all the flavors that right now are going to accentuate these sweet potatoes.
That's right. So you want to coat them a little bit with blended oil.
Okay.
Hit it with your salt and pepper. But then, here comes the magic.
The chef shortcut here.
So, and you can never have too much.
Okay.
That's the best part about it. You can never not have too much. So then you just kind of want to work them out to where they're nice, evenly coated with that seasoning.
Okay.
If you start seeing a little bit of dryness into where they're not all evenly coated, you can put a little bit more oil.
And also add more of the Everything Bagel Seasoning if you just
you need
desire to and want to.
Why not?
Why not?
So once you work that and they're nice and evenly.
And that's just going to go onto a sheet pan.
That's going to go right to a sheet pan and in the same oven that you have the pork. So
and it's at the same temperature?
At the same temperature.
Easy.
So while you're cooking the pork, you throw in your sweet potatoes. And you're gonna let these cook at the same temp at 375 for about 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So they get, you know, you got the pork in, about 10 minutes in, now we got the potatoes in. It's just timing. So now we've got one side.
So that's one side. Now, the other one is a garlicky spinach.
Okay.
So I'll actually have you help me out with this one a little bit.
Love to.
So we have a pan that's about medium heat, not too overly hot.
Okay.
We have sliced garlic, so we'll add a little bit of sliced garlic, or as much as you want.
Okay.
So there's no wrong with garlic.
I love garlic.
There you go.
I love garlic. I'm going in for just that little bit more right there.
A little bit more.
You went a little bit more with the Everything Bagel Seasoning. I gotta go a little bit more with the garlic over here. Okay. Now these are all coated.
Yep. So once you want to kind of get a little bit of a color onto the garlic, just so that caramelization. You start seeing that smell.
Oh yeah, totally.
Start smelling it.
They're just kind of dancing right there for us right now. Now is this perfect time for me to start adding in?
Yep.
Okay.
Take your handful of spinach.
Okay.
Add it right in there.
Straight out of the bag. Did it need any rinsing? Nothing.
Right out of the bag.
Just straight out of the bag. Straight in with just a little bit of some garlic, a little bit of oil.
So once you have your spinach, your garlic's still cooking in the bottom, and you add a little bit of salt and pepper.
I love it. Very simple, very clean. While we saute the spinach, we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we bring it all together for a delicious dinner, and Chef Fernando is going to fix us some drinks to go with it, which he first made for his mom.
On a Christmas party.
Oh, then you know that it's gonna be good. That's ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're sharing a recipe for a rosemary pork tenderloin from the brain and the kitchen of Chef Fernando Sanchez. He's the corporate executive chef for Noble Crust. Before the break, we started our sides. We diced sweet potato and dressed it with salt, pepper, and a little secret ingredient.
That's right.
Everything Bagel Seasoning.
Everything Bagel Seasoning.
We then put it on a sheet tray, joining the pork in the oven. And meanwhile, we just sauteed up some garlic with some spinach, which we've been cooking over the break. So what's next?
So next, we're ready to take out the pork and the potatoes.
Let's go for it.
And we'll let the pork rest a little bit while we make our barbecue sauce.
Sounds like a plan. Let's take a look at this bad boy. The smells are absolutely fantastic.
That smell is the best part when you open that oven.
It just kind of just like...
It shoots out at you. All right, so now that we have this, I want to go ahead and slice the pork so that way it kind of lets the rest and it won't bleed onto the plate.
Okay.
Any juices. So you just want to kind of slice it at an angle, nice thin slices, about 3 to 4 pieces per portion is kind of what we get here.
For Chef Fernando's recipes for everything he's been making today, they can be yours for you to make for your family. They're waiting for you to grab at dinnerdeeas.com. Scan the QR code to get there.
All right, so next up, you can actually take any barbecue sauce of your liking, any brand. I typically just go with a plain barbecue that you can get at Publix, Whole Foods, any of your local grocery store. But I don't get a seasoned one or a spicy one because I like to incorporate my own smokiness to it with a little smoked paprika.
Okay.
So take your barbecue, put it in a mixing bowl. Little dry, these are dry dehydrated onions.
Okay.
So a little onions. This is more just for like the texture, kind of to get a little bite to it. And then smoked paprika just to get a little bit of that extra smokiness and flavor in there.
So it's half homemade. You kind of getting a head start with having a barbecue sauce. of your liking.
Yep.
And then just jazz it up a little bit.
That's right.
Okay.
Give it a good little mix there. All right, so now we're ready to plate.
All right.
So what we do, start off with a little bit of sauce right on the plate. Spread it out a little bit. Take your potatoes off to the side. Yep. Then your spinach. Now your spinach, you want to kind of incorporate a little bit of that barbecue right on there. So you kind of put it right towards the sauce and kind of mellows a little bit of deep barbecue flavor into the spinach.
Okay.
Kind of get it all together. Take your pork tenderloin right over the top.
Oh, beautiful.
And you top it off with a little bit more barbecue.
Look at that.
There you go.
That looks fantastic. That looks fantastic.
Thank you.
I love it already. But, you know, like, man, we need something to wash it down with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're also going to make a white sangria.
Okay, let's have some fun with this.
This white sangria came about at my mom's Christmas party
Okay.
about 10 years ago. And I made it just out of everything she had in the
Is
cabinet.
that mom there?
That is mom right there. Linda with Sebastian.
Linda with Sebastian. So this is mom and grandson coming together. So this is mom approved.
Mom approved.
All right. Linda,
right.
if you say it's approved, I'm going in with it. So where do I get started?
All right, so we're gonna get started with, and I'll let you join in here.
Okay.
We'll get started with putting the strawberries, oranges, and mint right at the bottom.
And you've already chopped up a few already.
Yep.
So we got that. And we're just going to go in with just a few orange slices, you say? Okay.
A few orange slices. And a couple of mint leaves. A few mint leaves there. Slap them. There you go.
You got to slap it,
You gotta slap it.
You
Get
gotta
that
slap
essence
it.
out.
You got to slap it. All right. So we're going to do this in a couple batches here.
There you go.
You can already smell it.
already
It makes
smell
the world of a difference.
It does.
It's just the world of a difference.
A lot of people don't know. They see bartenders slap the mint and they don't have no idea what they're doing.
And it's like you're going to someone that is a specialist. If you see them doing something like that, maybe take the hit, follow along. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're just going to open up those beautiful essential oils in that.
Yep.
Now what?
So we want to start out with a little bit of Grand Marnier.
Okay.
So we're going to do about a cup of Grand Marnier there.
Okay.
The reason I do the liquor on the bottom is because once you're putting everything else into it, it actually starts mixing everything up by itself. So
Okay.
start off with that Grand Marnier there.
Okay.
So we have a white wine,
Okay.
being the white sangria. So
How much are
here,
we going with this?
about a cup and a half, 2
Okay.
cups. To our liking.
To our liking.
Depending how big your vessel is.
And how big of and long of a straw you have for it.
There you go.
Okay.
Cup also matters. There you go. So then next up, I actually buy these at Whole Foods. This is where I find them. You can probably find different brands. But here I have a tropical Italian soda and then a blood orange soda.
I love blood orange.
Can't go wrong with that.
All right, so let's go straight in with the blood orange.
Yep.
We're going another about a cup and a half.
Cup and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Get that little fizzle.
And that's going to just bring all that beautiful carbonation for this one here. Because, like, that's the joy of having sangria, white sangria. It's like, it's the bubbles. I mean, like, it's just fun, man. It's just an absolute fun way to go. All right, so about another cup and a half over here.
Yes.
With what's just going to be a tropical blend.
And I mean, Whole Foods has a variety of flavors. These two kind of just, they pair well together with a
I love
sangria.
it. So it sounds like this is one where it's just like, have fun.
Exactly.
You know, what you have and what you want to make into it, what are your flavors and profile for it there, just go right ahead and just do what you need. All right.
Now I'll let you do the honors and pop that Prosecco.
Come on now. Let's have some fun with this bad boy.
There you go. That's that sound.
Ooh, that's that sound. That's that sound. That's that sound. And we're just going to just go straight in?
Yep, straight in. Just top it off. About cup and a half to 2 cups there.
And when we come back, taste test time for this beautiful dinner and the drink ahead on Dinner and Drink DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Today we've been cooking with Chef Fernando Sanchez, corporate executive chef for Noble Crust. He's been sharing a dish he makes at home, a rosemary pork tenderloin with roasted sweet potatoes, garlicky spinach, and barbecue sauce. Plus a drink he created for his mom, Linda, a white sangria, freshly made, ready for the two of us to just get right into. Will you do the honors, my friend?
I'll do the honors. There we go.
If Linda says this is good, I mean, it's got to be good. I mean, I'm ready for it. You're ready for it. You've already had this one many a times.
It's definitely a favorite at the house every time we have our Christmas parties.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Very nice then.
Cheers.
Cheers. So what you're saying is that I'm invited to the next Christmas party so I can be able to like have fun with this with you. Okay. Linda, you heard it here first. I'm part of the family now.
He's coming over.
Cheers. All right.
That's refreshing, isn't it?
It's so refreshing. It's just got this beautiful brightness behind everything, and it's fun, right? I think that, like, you know, you think sangria's always got to be red. It does not need to be red, and you can have as much fun as you want with it, with what you want to put into it.
That's right.
Which is also what we did here with your pork.
How's that look?
Absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. Thanks to Chef Fernando Sanchez. Find his recipe and a link to Noble Crust at dinnerdeas.com. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching. See you next time with more Dinner DeeAs.